Welcome back to CabMaster Software. Today we're going to be going through how to create a drawing for beginners. So in the previous video we went through how to configure all your default settings. Now we're going to start up with the template you selected. You can, when CabMaster starts, it starts up to this screen here, which is the defaults for this drawing. So all your defaults are already set up, but now we've got this drawing here. So what we're going to do, click on client. Now you can save clients in your client table, but if you don't have any in there, you can start typing in their names. It's nice if I can spell. CabMaster Software is spelled like that. So it's CabMaster Software is the name. Address. You can just put in whatever it is you want to put in there. You don't have to get everything in there. You just hit apply. You can also select the pricing. If you've got your pricing set up, you can select the pricing level in here, whatever it is as well. And this is all configurable. Site address. You can, if it's a builder, you can put in the site address. If it's the same as a client, you can tick the box and it copies those fields across that you've put in. Job number, you can hit allocate and it does it automatically, gives you a job number. We can go to manual and just type in ABC 123, whatever it is, and a sub number as well if you like. Default settings, these are all set up. These were set up in the previous video. If you want it to be different for this drawing, this is when you come in here and go, okay, this one, I want my overheads to be up to 2400 and my ceiling is at 2700. My overhead cupboards are going to be 720. You can change whatever it is you like to change from here. If you've got a different kickboard or something like that, whatever it is you want to change, you can. Go to materials, change whatever materials you like. So in this case, I'm going to go for an 18mm door. Let's go for a ash white, and I want a 1mm edging on it. Hit apply. Now I can change this as well and go. I'll change one first. All is floor. So if I untick this box, I can now specify my floor, wall, and tall cabinets individually. So if they've got the same material, tick the box. If you want them to be individually done, untick the box and then modify them manually. It's saying exactly the same thing as with the panel. So I can say the panel matches the door material. It's fine if you're using laminate. If you're using a vinyl or 2-pack, obviously you might want to be different. So you can always untick that and change it manually here. If not, you tick it and it makes it the same as that one. Choose your bench top. That should be all you need to change. Your construction, all of those other things, generally they don't change per job. If you do want to change it or you want to do something with shadow rails, go in there and change those things. But generally, that first page, job setup, that tab through, these ones through here, that's all you need to change. You hit OK, then you're ready to draw. Now, I like to set up my own toolbar down here. This is completely configurable. This little toolbar normally sits at the top above the file here. There's this little arrow down. If you choose that and go show, it'll say show below ribbon, so it moves it down to where it is now, and you can click more commands and you can add in whatever buttons you like. So you can choose your favorites. I'm not going to use it today because I'm going to use the standard buttons that everyone else has. So to start drawing, this is a layout. If you need to get back to your default properties at any time, because you can go back and change your settings. If you change your mind and say, no, actually the customer wants to get a different overhead height, we've got a different splashback, whatever it is, drawing properties is over here. It goes straight back to this last page you're on. So I'm going to go to insert a wall. You can see I've got one here, but I'm going to use this one down over here, the standard ones for today. Wall. I can say, well, my wall's going to start here. The main rule with the wall is you've got to draw clockwise. I want this to be 2875 in that direction. And I want it to be 3 meters in that direction. So I can click back to the select tool. I can then grab my wall and move it around. Now, there's a few things you can do here. You can right click on this wall and you can see the section that's now highlighted, and I can go auto dimension, and same as this side, auto dimension. It's nice and easy to do this at the beginning. The other thing you can do is you can go auto elevation. So this will bring up an elevation of that wall. So we go auto elevation, so I can put those elevations over to there. Everything's blank, so elevations are blank, but it makes it easier. Sometimes if you want to do it, you can see what's happening as you're doing it all live. So there's everything started to set up. Go back to the home. There's a multiple ways you can choose your cabinet. So there's this drop down list here. I personally prefer to use this one here. It makes it easier. So on a floor corner, there's a floor corner cupboard. So it shows you what it looks like here. What you can also do is you got this list up here and you see it's now highlighted the floor corner. I like to set this one here up with just my favorites. So you can configure it. You got this change palette. That'll be another video, but you can click on change palette and it shows you how to configure and set all these things up as well. And you put up your favorites. It's much quicker to go single click on that, grab the cabinet, and you can put it down. Now I'm holding the left mouse button down. I haven't let go of it yet, because if I do that the first time, it lets me push against the wall and see how it's rotating the cabinet around to fit that correct wall. Because a lot of people try and throw the cupboard into the corner, and what they're actually doing is putting it in backwards because they're selecting that wall first. If you put it against this wall, slide it into position, it goes in the correct dimensions every time. Now what you can see is what's just happened is it's updated. I'll go back to select. It's updated the dimensions. So the pink one is the wall dimension. The first one is the carcass dimension. There's a 16mm void, both sides, behind this cabinet. So my carcass is 848, benchtop's 900. So the carcass, benchtop, this one here's the overheads, and this one here's the overall wall. And you can see it's also updated the elevations on both sides as I've done it as well. So I'm going to go choose a standard cabinet. So I just grab a floor 2 door. Now you can double click on here and it brings up the page properties for that cabinet. And you go and change the dimensions, change doors, change all your things. It's brought all the original properties through anyway from the defaults. So what I'm going to do is going to go throw in a couple of cupboards and you see the elevations, everything get updated. I've only got 600 left, so I'm not going to be able to fit another cabinet in there. I'm going to grab a floor 1 door, hinged on the left. I'm going to put that into there. Now what I can do is I can highlight these 3 cabinets here and go make even. Just right click, make even. Now that will make the doors even, so you can now see these cabinets have all updated their widths. So these 5 doors are all exactly the same size. I can then go and grab a panel, a floor end panel to floor. So it goes all the way down to the not on a kick. You can choose either one you like. I just prefer this one. I'm going to go to the bench top and say I want to overhang the right by 20mm. Now when you've changed the variable here, hit the tab button on your keyboard and you'll see it updates immediately. So again, hold the button down, push it into place. There's my cabinet, then my end panel. So I'm not going to do a complete drawing today. I just want to show you how things actually work. One thing you might notice is, I keep jumping around on the page firstly, the wheel on the mouse zooms in and out. The best button is the wheel itself is actually a button. If you press it, the wheel, it actually zooms back to the whole page. So that's why I keep zooming in, having a look at this and then hitting a button and going back again. The layout, these dimensions look quite neat and tidy. These ones look massively oversized. What you can do, if you just run your mouse over the elevation, you'll see that little marker in the bottom left corner there is highlighting as I run over it. That's what you need to double click on. You click on that, you see the mouse changes, double click. I can go to style, I can change the color, I can change the dimensions of the heights of the arrows. You can change the zoom percentage, so I can say this is 120%. See how it's gotten larger? So this is set at 80% of the original size, so it fits on the page nice and neat. You can change the colors of your arrows. If you go to label, what we can do here is click on the big A, say I want that at 5, and this is changing the font of the dimensions. So you see now, these looks so much neater, much smaller. They line up to the same size as the other dimensions over here. It just looks a whole lot cleaner than these sizes. So you can quite happily do that. You can even save this as a default. There's another video to show you how to set defaults. So you can see what I've done on there. So that's quite happily done as well now. So we can keep drawing. I'm just going to go throw some overheads in to show you what happens. So I'm going to grab a filler to begin with. Wall filler, 30mm. Again, push against the wall you want to go on, then slide it into the corner. You can see it's now appeared here and here. Wall standard. So it's only in the corners you really need to do that. It just makes it much easier just to put a cupboard into place, slide it into there. So against the wall you want to go on, slide it into place. Now we can as a good example here, we can throw that in, go, okay, that cupboard isn't quite going to fit, so let's stretch this one. Just grab the marker, and you can stretch it to wherever you want. I'm going to stretch it to match the cabinet below. Then I can hold down the control button and multiple select those 4 cabinets. Again, make even. They're all 2-door cupboards. They're now all exactly the same size. So it's highlight what you want. If you can drag a box over them, but it would have got the cupboards below them as well. So if you hold down the control button, you can select individual cupboards then, and then just right click, make even, and it will make all the doors even. And again, if you've got a 1-door or 2-door, it doesn't matter. It says how many doors are there, make them all the same size. I just need to grab a overhead panel, and I'm just going to throw an overhead panel on the end to there. Go back to select. So the only thing to be aware of is once you put the cupboard, I'm just going to throw a cupboard in the middle of the floor. You can see I've got this black cross for my mouse, for my cursor. That means it's about to do something. So if I click the button again, I'm going to keep getting cupboards out until I do something else. So I go back to select, and you'll see the mouse now changes. So now it means I'm waiting for something else to happen. I can now use that to drag a box. I can hit the delete button. You can remove what you want to do. So just be aware of what your mouse or your cursor looks like, because if you're going to put down a wall or anything like that as well, it goes to this black cross. It means it's about to do something. This is the select button you need to go back to whenever you've done something. Whenever you've finished doing something, a process, just go back to select. So you always go back to this mouse. So now you've got your now you've got your drawing complete. Then all you can do, you can go File, Save, and you can call it, let's call it Sample 2 for an example. You call it whatever job number should be. You can see from the original settings as well, job number, all the materials I've selected, things like that. The customer's details are all been updated on the template as well, depending on the template you use. So this all seems to come up fairly well. The elevations are showing us what we want. You can also get into 3D. So 3D button is the bottom right. So it shows you what it looks like in 3D. Now, lovely color wall. Easy fixed. Go back to plan view, the first one. Double click on the wall. Go to textures and click on the solid color. You can go to define custom color, and you can make your own colors. I've got this one here that I like to use. It looks much more realistic. We're no longer in the 70s. We've sort of moved on since then. So this one actually gives it a little bit more realistic color. From here you can actually go to photo view and things like that as well, and get the high-end renders as well. That's how we do it. From here, photo view, it does your full-on 3D rendering. It's a fantastic option. I really like it. Then from there, once you've done your drawing, you've saved it, File, Report, Reports, and again you can have shortcuts for these. Go to a Board 2 column. There's different types of reports. You can see there's a HTML, or HTA, and RPTs. These are the new style reports. There's more of these coming, and BATs. These are new ones as well. These are the older styles. They still work. We still use them. Depends what you'd like to use. With this one here, the Board 2 column, it pops up with this parameter window. This is where you can specify, I want to see my carcass on my doors or my panels only. Leave it on default. Just for the time being, just hit OK. You can do configurations and things later on. So this shows us here the cutting list of that cabinet, of that drawing. What we can do, it's page 1, base cupboards. So it shows you cupboard number, dimensions on all your different parts. It's got 1 long edging, it's 1mm edging on my carcass. My doors, 2 long, 2 short, 1mm. Shows you my cut size of all my parts, overheads. So it shows you everything in there. It's really good for assembly. It also tells you what job it is and the location of it, and your job number. So all your details are on that report. It's nice and easy to do that sort of thing as well. You can print that out, print out this plan and elevation view as well, and send it down to the shop for your production. So essentially, that's how you draw. If you want to go modify a cupboard afterwards as well, so you've done your drawing, come back, go, oh, hang on, now customer's done something, I've check measured, whatever it is, I need to change a few things. This is where it gets a little bit more technical. Not really. You can right click on your wall and go change length left or right. Now if I go change length left, it's going to move the left that direction. If I make it larger or smaller. So in this case I'm going to change length right, and let's make this 3157. We've measured it. You can see the wall's now changed. We can then start modifying cupboards. The easiest way is I would pull the panels off, just zoom in, grab the panel, move it out the way. You can then just say double click on a cupboard, and it brings up the properties for that cupboard. So now this one here needs to be 427 as an example. So it needs to go out to here. Then we can stretch these ones out as well. You can see the marker there. If you've got problems grabbing the cupboards, just move the other ones out the way. So I can move these ones out the way for now. Put that cupboard back to there. Put these ones back in place. Stretch them out. So there's a lot of things you can do. You can stretch them. So we know we've got to go to this point to here. So I stretch that one to there. So from there, I can click on that one, that one, that one, that one. Again, holding down Control. Make even. So I know it has to fit to this size here. At least now my doors are even sizes. Same again on these ones. Okay, make even. The cupboards remain to the same overall width. Then I can grab my panels and put my panels back on. And we know they will fit properly now. So you can see the elevations have updated. You can then double click on a cupboard, modify it again if you like. It's open again. What do you want to do? You can go back to your drawing properties and modify the overall specs of the drawing. It's completely open to you now. Save it, send it to production. Thank you very much. I hope this has been informative. Thanks for using CabMaster Software.